Hello everyone, welcome to my channel, and in this lecture we are going to discuss about Unix environment. So it is very important topic that we need to cover before going into the shell scripting. So in the last lecture we have covered the different file permissions that you can allow to add a security to your data and how we can change the file permissions by using the change mode command or a chmod command. So now we will see about the environment, the concept of environment in Unix. So it is a very important Unix concept which is defined by the environment variables. So some are set by the systems and others can be set by you, while others can be set by the shell script or any other program that loads the another program. So what is really a variable that I think you have probably familiar with if you're using C language, Python or Java, whatever. Variables are everywhere. So a variable is nothing but a character string to which we assign some value. So the value we assign could be number, text, file name, device or any other type of data that we can assign. So now first let me show you how we can create one variable and assign some value to it. So this is our shell prompt, and for creating one variable just give the variable name. So in this case our variable name will be var1 equal to inverted commas, we have to provide some value to it. So we will just provide shell scripting. So this is the text message or a string that you can say we are providing into the variable which named var1. After hitting enter, as you can see we have successfully created one variable. But now if you want to display your variable or print it, you have to use echo command. So this echo command is very similar to the printf command that you have seen in the C language. So for this you have to just give echo, and after that you have to give the dollar symbol for giving the variable. So just give the dollar symbol and the variable name which we have assigned var1. As you can see, we are getting the string that has been assigned to that variable is getting printed by using this echo command. It is very similar to the printf command. So you have to remember one point clearly, that the environment variables are set without using the dollar sign, but while accessing them you need to provide the dollar symbol as a prefix. So this variable retains their values until we come out of the shell. Let me tell you another important topic. So when you log in into the system, the shell will undergo a phase which calls initialization to set up the environment. So this is usually a two-step process. As soon as this process will end, the shell will display a prompt which is $prompt in case of Bourne shell that you are already familiar with. So after that you can enter your commands in order to have them executed. So our next topic is setting up the terminal type. So usually this type of terminal you are using will be automatically configured by either the login or a getty programs. But sometimes this auto-generated configuration process guesses your terminal incorrectly. So if your terminal is set incorrectly, the output of the commands might look strange and undesirable, or you might not be able to interact with the shell properly. So for that, to make sure that the terminal is set correctly, most users will use the terminal in the lowest common denominator. So to do that you have to just give the terminal value as same here, as given here. Let me show you how. So for this you have to assign the value to a environment variable which is called as term for terminal, and all the letters should be in capital for this. So just use term equals to, and you have to assign your terminal type. So most of the user will use VT100, which is a terminal which is set to its lowest common denominator. So after hitting enter, as you can see our terminal type has been set. So you have to note down the value of this terminal if your terminal is set incorrectly, and you can see some strange outputs while you are executing your commands. Our next topic is setting the path. So what is path? We have already discussed and you might probably know. So when you type any command on the command prompt, the shell has to locate the command before it can be executed. So the path variable specifies the locations in which the shell should look out for the commands. So usually the path variable is set in this given manner, as you can see here. So here each of the individual entries are separated by these colon characters, as you can see here. So here each of the individual entries separated by the colon characters are directories, as you can see here. So if you request the shell to execute a command and it cannot find it in any of the directories in given path variables, it will show like the command not found. So there are variables like ps1 and ps2 that we are going to discuss now in detail. So this is also an important topic, ps1 and ps2 variables. So the characters that the shell displays as your command prompt are stored in the variable ps1. So our command prompt displays the dollar symbol right now. So you can modify it. So we can change this variable to be anything you want. So as soon as you change it, it will be used by the shell from that point on. So going forward, it will show updated variable. So this is the syntax that we will use to update the variable which is stored in the ps1. Let me show you how. So we have come to the shell prompt, and as you can see here, you can see the dollar symbol for the prompt. So if you have to change that, just give like ps1 in capital equal to sign, and in quotes you have to give any symbol that you want instead of dollar symbol. So if you can give equal to sign, it will change it to equal to going forward. After hitting enter, as you can see, the dollar symbol has been replaced by the equal to sign. You can do that similarly for any kind of symbol that you want, or any character as well. So if you add this, so it has changed. It is very similar process. As you can see, it can also store the characters and the numbers as well. So there is one more topic such as escape sequence. So the escape sequence are nothing but some functions that we can use as a value arguments for a ps1. So here I have presented some escape sequences and their description. So each of these have some specific meaning, such as this /t represents the current time expressed in this format, as well as this /d contains the current date which is expressed as weekday, month and date. I think you are already familiar with this escape sequence, such as /n which represents the new line, and so on. There are so many escape sequences. So we can use them as a value arguments for ps1. Let me show you with some example. So if you want to use the escape sequences, just give like ps1 equal to sign, and inside quotes you have to give these escape sequences in the square brackets. So if you want to print the username, we will use the /u for that. But if you want to add more sequences, we can do that. So we will also give like the working directory as well by giving /w which represents working directory. So when we hit the enter, as you can see, it is giving us the username and the working directory instead of the dollar symbol. So let me show you some more examples, such as instead of working directory, we can give like host name by using /h. After hitting enter, as you can see, now it is printing the host name. So now let me show you. If we use the /t, it is for representing the current time. So as you can see, it is showing the current time in the given format, such as hour, minute and seconds. We can also give like /s to represent the current shell environment. So as you can see, bash, this is the current shell environment. So these are also some different escape sequences that you can use for storing it into the ps1 variable. So you can make these changes by yourself every time when you log in, or you can have the change made automatically in the ps1 by adding it into your profile. So when you issue a command that is incomplete, the shell will display a secondary prompt and wait for you to complete the command and hit enter again. So the default secondary prompt is a greater than sign, but it can be changed by redefining the PS2 shell variables. So as we have seen the PS1, the PS2 will be used by changing this default secondary prompt. Let me show you how to do that. So for this example, let me show you by using the echo command. So for echo, just use like echo and type some message. Welcome to, and after that we will hit enter. So after hitting enter, as you can see, we haven't completed our echo command. So the secondary prompt is represented by this greater than symbol. Now we will complete our command. So welcome to shell. So as you can see here, we have completed our echo command, and after hitting enter, as you can see, the message that we have passed has been printed. Let me change this greater than symbol, which is a secondary prompt symbol. We can do that by using this ps2 command. So just type ps2 equal to, and in double quotes or single quote you can give any symbol that you want. So in this case we can use like secondary prompt. Whenever our command will be incompleted and you hit enter, this secondary prompt will appear. So this updated ps2 variable will appear instead of this greater than symbol. Let me show you. So now we will execute the same program. So the echo again, welcome to, and when we hit enter, as you can see, instead of greater than symbol it is showing secondary prompt. So just type our message shell. So after completing our statement, as you can see, we are getting the similar result, but instead of greater than symbol it is showing the specified symbol or a message that we have passed to the ps2 variable. And our today's last topic is environment variables. So here I have given you this partial list of important environment variables. So this environment variables has some specific meaning to it, which I have given here. So as you can see, so the display contains the identifier for the display, the home indicates the home directory, IFS indicates the internal field separator, lang expands to the default system locale, and also this path indicates the search path for the commands, and so on. There are so many environment variables, but this is some partial list that are majorly used. So to use these variables, let me show you with some 1-2 examples. Okay, so now let me just clear out the screen. After that, to use these environment variables, you have to just use the echo command and call out those variables. So just use echo, and for calling out the variables we will use the dollar symbol. So the dollar symbol, and for a first example we will type home. So as you can see, it is printing the home directory which we are currently in. After that we will use the term, which contains the terminal. So as you can see, X term, so this is the terminal which is currently configured. Also we can give like pwd, which is a present working directory. As you can see, it is showing the present working directory as we are in the home directory right now, so it is showing the similar result. So this way you can use these environmental variables and use them to get the specific information. So I hope you got a clear idea about the environment in Unix. So in the next lecture, we will discuss about pipes and different filters in Unix that is very useful for your day-to-day work. So if you like this video, please consider subscribing and also ring the notification bell to get the latest updates. And don't forget to follow us on our social media that I will link in the description below. Thanks for watching.